This call is being recorded.
Hello, everyone. This is Renee Rentmeester again with the Cooking Without Looking TV show podcast. And we're here today with Rose Kamma Morrison. Hello, Rose. How are you? You are here all the way from British Columbia, right?
That's right, Renee.
Well, tell
Hi,
us.
how are you?
I'm doing great. What's it like over there? I'm in Georgia. So what's going
Uh,
on over there in British Columbia?
well, we have a lot of wildfires, kind of like similar to North California. So it's very warm at the moment and dry.
Wow. Is that frightening to you? Does that frighten you?
Yeah, very frightening because we're hikers and we're always out in the woods and stuff. So we're always like being very wary and cautious whenever we go into the woods.
Oh my gosh. And you're blind and you just told me you were hard of hearing as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. I was born with a severe hearing loss. And it wasn't until I was 3 years old when they discovered that. So luckily, they were able to catch it early enough to help me develop with my speech and hearing. And then up until I was 16, I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, which is a degenerative eye disease. And currently, I'm down to less than 10 degrees of peripheral vision, so I have like a tunnel vision with photopsia, which is like a kind of like fireworks in your vision.
Well, so this must have been quite a blow to you. First, you start, you've lost your hearing. And then when, your life starts getting, you're a teenager and all this stuff happens, then you start losing your sight. How did that go down for you? How were you feeling at that?
Well, I think when I was 16, I was in denial. I really didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it because at the time I was what I thought was fully sighted. So I went to pursue my driver's license, which I chickened out. Um, so the pursuit was a dead end, and I tried again driving, and then I realized, then my vision was starting to decline, so I decided not to drive at all. So I grew up with immigrant parents, and they instilled positive things in life. So I don't think it really affected me greatly. I mean, just in my last, okay, I'm in my late 50s. So just in my last few years, my vision declined considerably, and I'm still maintaining positivity because of the active life I lead. I'm an athlete as well and an artist. So those things keep me busy.
I
But
noticed in your picture you had a running shoe. Are you a runner as well?
yes, yes. I've ran 14 marathons, one of them including Boston. And that was my first experience being tethered, having a guide. And he is now my husband.
Oh wow,
So,
you tethered to the right
yeah,
person.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, so we ran 14 marathons together, traveled a little bit with running, and I've always been a bit competitive, but never motivated enough to be like on the world stage or anything. It's like that. I'm more of a recreational runner.
Yes, I understand how that goes because I do the same thing. I run, just for enjoyment actually, and
Yeah.
it, that runner's high. It gives you a great feeling inside and keeps you up. And I've run some marathons, but like you say, I'm not like I don't want to be known for my running. I
Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully I won't be, but I ran in some marathons in Miami, so I know what you mean, and that must be quite a feeling because you're tethered to someone. I remember we ran a race where we were tethered, but it was sort of like a fun thing. It was like a um
Yeah.
and but you have to be tethered. what happens when the other person's run slower than you or running faster than you?
Well, that's the guide's job to help bring awareness around the surroundings, saying blind runner coming through, and we also wore shirts, mine says blind runner and his says guide runner. So, I mean, you can't get more obvious than that. So, um,
It gets it
yeah,
gets a
so
little tricky there sometimes, though. Even if you're labeled, I mean, I've been stepped on in races, so you know, that's
yeah, yeah,
quite
there's
a.
definitely lots of challenges, especially in Boston when there's 65,000 runners.
Oh my
It was a
God,
real challenge, yeah.
I can't
But it
even
was
imagine.
fun. Oh, hello.
Hi, hi.
Oh, okay. We got disconnected there briefly.
So I can't even imagine all those racers in Boston, and there you are in the middle of it running through. What were you thinking as you
Yeah.
were going through all of that?
I was just elated to be there, to experience the crowds and the Heartbreak Hill, which wasn't really a heartbreak hill. I was disappointed because I was thinking, oh my God, is that it? Because I grew up in a very hilly area, so Heartbreak Hill is like a mound.
It was sort of like a little molehill instead of a
Yeah,
huge hill.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I live in a mountainous region, so in a valley, so
Oh,
we're
no.
surrounded by beautiful mountains, and yeah, so access to hundreds of trails. So it's like my backyard.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Do you run every day?
No, I run 3 to 4 days a week with my dog,
Yeah.
and I use
Mhm.
I use assistive technology using an app called Run Go app. So it gives me turn by turn audio directions of my route. So with the limited vision I have, I need the directional cues so I don't get lost.
Oh my God. I don't have any vision issues, and I need directional cues. So
Well,
I
it's
can't.
it's it's for everybody. It's not just designed for the blind. It's actually generally designed for the uh, sighted people originally, and then I tuned in with the CEO of Rendo saying, "Hey, could we make this a little bit more accessible?" And we worked together with some ideas to make the app more accessible for the visually impaired and blind runners. So it's proven to be a very good app for all runners and hikers and walkers. So it's great.
And can you tell us the name of that again, Rose?
Run Go Run Go app.
Run Go app. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds great. It sounds like we can all use it, like you say. It's not just for blind people. And your husband doesn't run with you every time you run, right? You just run with your dog.
Yeah, I just run with my dog. Yeah, my husband used to run with me, but he's unable to now.
Ah, okay, okay. Well, tell us how you got into cooking.
Well, as I said earlier, my parents were immigrants from Holland. My mom being a Dutch Italian, so Italians love to cook, and the Dutch love to bake. So I have a bit of both. So I always stood next to my mother when cooking. She always says, Rosanna, that's my full name. You have to stand next to me to see what I'm doing, so because you're going to learn how to cook. And I used to roll my eyes, thinking, "Oh, brother, I don't want to cook." But I end up
Sure.
loving it. I love cooking and baking. I even applied for a national baking show.
Oh, that's cool. Did
Yeah, I don't know.
you get on?
Are you are you familiar with the Great British Baking Show?
No, I am not, but tell us about it.
Okay, well, we have a Canadian version of that show. It's a very popular show. It's competitive, but it's not like Hell's Kitchen kind of competitive, if you know what I mean.
Thank
But
God for that. Thank God for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's 10 bakers. They compete. They get challenged with different baking techniques and showstoppers and that kind of stuff. So, and then in the end, you win a platter. No money, just a platter. But you know what? It's being there and experiencing it. That's the cool thing. So I talked to one of the previous bakers on there, and he said, "Oh, it took me 3 applications, and it's not uncommon um, to take a couple years to finally get into the show." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's encouraging, because if I do get on, I'd be the first. It would be cool."
That would be cool. That's really nice. And you got little smooshed up there, Rose. You would be the first what?
I would be the first visually impaired or blind competitor on the show.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. So how many times have you tried so far? You're down one
Just
application.
just just once.
Ah, okay. You're gonna try again?
Yeah, I'm gonna try again. Depends on my vision. If it gets worse, much worse, then I won't. But if it stays stable, then I'll continue to apply till I get in.
Now you have a group on Facebook. Tell us about that.
I started this page, I can't remember, I think a couple of years ago, just because I'm passionate about cooking and baking, and I always like to see new recipes and get some tips out there, and just try different foods and encourage people to cook and not be afraid of cooking. I'm actually experimenting with doing videos, and I did publish one, and it was horrible. But it's all a
Oh,
learning
I
curve.
thought it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I don't have the right tools for videoing, so it's all single-handedly done. So, but it takes practice. So I just put it out there to see how it works, and like I say, it's going to take a bit of practice before I do more videos. I would love to actually have a Zoom cook with me session. You know, someone cooks a recipe, cook with it, get a glass of wine, get our ingredients all together, and then we all cook together.
Right. No, that
That,
sounds like a lot of fun. Well, that's something you just get comfortable with. You could always like just put your phone up and against something and so that it shows what you're doing and you get relaxed with it and
oh
enjoy it.
yeah, yeah. It's the camera technique that I'm working on mostly. It's
Is your husband
yeah.
able to help you with that?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's definitely able to help. But I just want to see for myself to see how it works, and then we just improve from there on.
Sure, sure, sure. Well, what kind of recipes are your favorite to make?
Oh gosh, I have such a broad taste of ethnic foods and stuff. I like spicy. Looking at Grace's recipe, and I thought, oh, that sounds so good, but we don't have the ingredients that requires for that special sponge bread that she makes.
Ah, what kind of ingredients are in that sponge bread?
Well, the one that you interviewed just before me, I think Grace.
Oh, yes, yes, Abby from Ethiopia.
Oh, yeah. Oh, why did I think it was Grace? Well,
I don't
anyway, yeah,
know.
yes. So, we don't have that many. We don't have any ethnic food stores here. So we have like small sections of Italian, Mexican. You know, um, it's very basic. So if I want something exotic, I'd have to order online.
Yeah. Well, you know what? She's actually not too far away from you. I think she's up in northern Washington, I think.
Yeah, she's in Vancouver, Washington.
Yeah, yeah. Is that very far away from you?
That's about 2 days drive.
Oh, bye. Okay, well, never mind. Never mind.
our our island is so big. A lot of people think, "Oh, you live on an island," and I'm thinking, Yeah, it's bigger than Hawaii, so it's not just a little island. It's quite
Not
big.
this, not this tiny little. Yeah, she made that bread, but she was.
Yeah,
We have the recipe up. I'd have to take a look at it. There were some substitutions she made on it as well. So
yeah.
you're
Oh,
like,
yeah,
instead of
like for
this,
the
you could.
Ethiopian butter. That was
Yeah,
not something I'm not familiar with.
yeah. That was. I think it's extra salty or something. Because I
Oh,
started.
okay.
'Cause I was not familiar with Ethiopian food at all. I just knew it had started to become popular because I was in Miami, and there was an Ethiopian restaurant there. But I've
Mm.
never had it, but it looked and sounded really good.
Oh, yeah, it is good. I've had Ethiopian food about, I think my first time was 8 years ago in Sacramento in a restaurant, and just delicious, spicy food. Very
Yeah,
good food.
it looked like that because the spices and everything in it. But tell us about your recipe for today. You are the Cooking Without Looking recipe of the day. So when they go to our website at cookingwithoutlookingtv.wordpress.com, they will see your recipe. So tell us a little bit about it.
Cool. Well, it's an adaptation of a different recipe because, that's my style. I tend to go, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I'll just change it for that. I I rarely follow a recipe to the T because I know what I like and what flavors work for what we would like in our meals. So, with this ramen soup is very easy. I usually use small bowls, prep bowls, to put all my ingredients in because it just makes it that much easier when you're sight impaired. Um, and you prepare by cutting all your vegetables and spices and stuff, and you put in your little bowl. It's so simple. You just boil 3 cups of water, add your vegetable broth. You could replace dry broth for wet broth, making 3 cups of wet broth, like a canned broth. And, make your flavorings with sesame oil, soy sauce, and Thai chili sauce or sriracha. That works just as well. And I like to add pepper flakes to, to give it a bit more of a kick or jalapeno slices.
Oh,
And then
wow.
your cut up vegetables, red pepper, broccoli, mushrooms, celery, snow peas, and carrots. You just put uh, for, I like a loaded vegetables. There'll be almost more vegetables than there'll be, the broth. So I just load it up and let it cook. Throw in your ramen noodles because they don't take long to cook. They take about 5 minutes, and just with your chopsticks sort of separate the noodles and let it go in a rolling boil for about 5 minutes, and then you're done. And then
Wow.
throw on some cilantro, and yeah, it's a delicious soup. It makes your nose run, so it's spicy.
It gets rid of every little bit of liquid within your body, but it
Yeah,
sounds
pretty much.
good. And we all
Yeah,
know ramen
and
noodles because that's how we got through school.
yeah, and also ginger. I always use the fresh ginger to throw in there. A couple dollar slices of that.
Oh, that's
And
nice. That sounds great.
it's very nice. It's got loads of flavor. So, and if you're feeling cold, you're come home from a cold day and stuff, this is definitely a warm you up kind of soup.
Well, what inspired you with this soup?
Um, oh, I don't know. I I like to try and try different ethnic foods. This is basically a Thai soup, so with different modification to spices and stuff because I don't necessarily have it on hand, so I replaced it with certain sauces and stuff. And yeah, it's well, my husband and I like to travel, so whenever we go to places, in restaurants and stuff, I go, ooh, I need to make this at home. And I often try to do a copycat recipe, so I write it down as I'm eating dinner. It almost looks like I'm a food critic when we're out to dinner. because I'm thinking, oh, I know what's in here. I can taste, a certain spice and stuff. So I tend to make a mental note of it or put it on my phone, take a picture of it. Yeah, I'm such a foodie that way. I just love trying new recipes and stuff.
Waiters,
Their
waiters
recipes.
waiters start falling over themselves to do it right for you because they think you're a food critic, probably, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I do a lot of food review, restaurant reviews online, but that's for the public, and that's oh, what is that app called? I can't remember what it's called. It's one with the owl with the green
Huh.
TripAdvisor. Yeah. So
Oh,
because
yeah.
yeah, I do a lot of food reviews and places we eat. But because of the pandemic, we haven't really been out much. So home cooking is baking is something we've been doing a lot of, and doing preserves and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, preserves. That sounds great.
Mhm. Mhm.
Which kind of preserves have you been doing?
Well, we have a vegetable garden, so I've done zucchini relish, lots of different jams like wild blackberry. We have grapes, so grape jelly, strawberry jam, spiced pepper rings. Oh gosh, what else have we done? Oh, salsa, spaghetti sauce. Yeah, so trying to keep up with the vegetable garden and canning and preserves, it's a lot of work, especially
Well,
when it's really hot out.
it is a lot of work. You should put reviews for yourself online. Start like a little bed and breakfast for people. That sounds amazing. The zucchini relish, that sounds cool. I've never heard of that. What kind of spices do
Oh,
you?
it's mustard, zucchini, a little bit of vinegar. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember now. Peppers, like different, like red pepper, green pepper, yellow pepper, salt and
Sure.
pepper. You know, it's pretty basic actually, and you can make it as spicy as you want. And of course, we make it a little bit spicy, not too spicy, because with not all our friends like really spicy foods. And we often host once a year a Christmas party to thank our friends. It's like our gift to them at Christmas. We have about 30 to 40 people, and I do all the baking and cooking and stuff, and we just have a big spread. So it's a very merry time. But because
Oh,
of the pandemic, we've been canceling it for the last 2 years. So we're thinking about doing it this year.
yeah, yeah. We're getting about to that time of the year. It sounds excellent.
Yeah,
Well, Rose,
yeah. Go ahead.
oh no, tell us. We're getting towards the end here. What kind of you're blind and you're hard of hearing, you're deaf. Tell us what kind of um what kind of thoughts do you have for people who may also be blind as well as deaf?
Um, Not to be afraid of challenges. Try to have a goal to try something new at least once a year. Um, I have achieved many goals because of having those goals in mind. Um, don't be afraid of it, because if you're afraid of those goals, then you'll never achieve it. So take that fear out of the equation and explore. If you want to run. There are ways. We have a page called Running Eyes, and we help with pairing guides. And if you're an artist like myself, go for it. It's abstract, so it's okay to not have it look like a real pear in a bowl. It's not art is not about that. It's about going for it and being not afraid of the colors and the shapes and stuff. and if you want to view my art, you can go on Instagram at Rose TKMO, ROSETKMO. And you can have a look at my arts and stuff. I'm an award-winning artist who've done some shows in the US and Canada and working on some big projects at the moment. So yeah, it's just, be not afraid, go for it.
Wonderful, Rose. And tell us, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they reach out to you?
Or they can reach out to me, message me on Messenger or Instagram at Rose TKMO, or through my art page on Facebook, Rose Kamma Morrison Visual Artist. Email rosesarkany@gmail.com. That's my actual email. Yeah, by all means, join the food page, communicate, share recipes, tips, whatever.
Well, that sounds great, Rose. Thank you so much for being with us today, Rose Kamma Morrison. We've really enjoyed our time with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Renee, for having me.
Okay, and any of you would like to reach out to us, and if you want to see Rose's recipe, go to our website, www.cookingwithoutlookingtv.wordpress.com. And thank you so much for helping us change the way we see blindness. Have a great day, Rose.
Thank you. You too, Renee.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.